Alright lads, today I'm going to talk a little bit about energy fighting. Now energy fighting is seen as one of the three core principles of flying in War Thunder, and in real life I assume. So you have energy fighting, turn fighting, and boom and zooming. They're the three main principles in props. Gets a bit different for jets, but you know what I mean. But to be honest, using energy when you turn fighting, using energy when you boom and zooming. It's how you use that energy that's different really. The first thing about energy fighting really, it's more of a planned out type of fighting. You need to be more aware, you need to know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So I was a bit suspicious of this BF-109, he's going quite slow, I don't know if he's trying to bait me in. And as you can see there's another BF-109 behind me. He's a bit occupied with that mosquito at the minute. But he is following us nonetheless. You can see there. So we've got an enemy in front and an enemy behind me. So instead of turning after that BF-109, as you can see there, I'm not going to do that because that would bleed our energy. We're going to use our energy to climb. Now that BF-109 below me, he doesn't have the speed to climb up to me and shoot me. So we're safe from him completely. So instead we're going to turn back onto that BF-109 behind me. Now this BF-109, he's pointing his nose up at the minute. He's bleeding his speed in a climb. Whereas we were in a dive, we've gained speed. So we're going to put it back into a loop. We're going to conserve that energy. When you turn in a horizontal, you'll lose energy because you're not gaining altitude. You're not. It's basically wasted energy. Well, that's our first kill. Blow him out the sky. So this BF-109, he knows what he's doing. He tried to bait me, as you saw. He tried to bait me into a turn fight with that first BF-109. And here he does manage to bait me successfully. I go into a row and scissors with him. I shouldn't have done this. I should have carried on a energy fighting him by vertical loops. He's essentially getting on my tail. Slowly, but he is getting there. And we are in the exact same plane, so I've got the same strengths and I've got the same weaknesses, so I can't really use my plane against him. It's all down to pilot skill here. And he probably is a little bit better pilot than me. I'm not the best, but I don't think it's really down to piloting a lot of War Thunder. I think it is just down to understanding of how to fight. Maybe could have got a shot on here. But this is where when I knew it was over. If I carried on this turn I was going to die because he's behind me now. He's going to stall on top of me and come down and behind me. So we're going to put it into a dive. Because he's stalling, we're going to get quite a bit of separation before he's able to get his before he's able to target me effectively. So we're going to start rowing a little bit just to throw off his aim. Now we use manual engine control here. We're going to use our natural air brake, putting your prop pitch to 100%. So now he's got a lot more speed than me, so he's got the higher energy advantage. What does he do with that energy advantage? Puts it into a big old horizontal turn. And he's basically just blew that energy. So what he should have done here, he should have just gone into a vertical. He shouldn't have turned, he shouldn't have done any fancy manoeuvres. He should have just gone up. Maybe wiggled a bit to stop me shooting at him. But instead he did all these turns and he did hard loops. And he's lost his aileron for it. But he had the advantage there, I should have been dead. So he's going to go back to base and rearm. We're going to miss another shot on him here, but that's life. You miss stuff, you hit stuff. So we have effectively made him combat ineffective. And I'm not going to follow him back to his base. Firstly, because we're in the same plane, so I wouldn't be able to catch him anyway. And secondly, because base AAA is a bit OP. It's a bit unpredictable. So a few more minutes have gone into the game. I think I'm on my phone here. And I frantically put my hand back on the mouse when I see a player. So how would you approach this fight in terms of an energy fighter. Got an enemy below you, we're above him. We're going to dive down and get energy, or as we know it is speed. We're not going to go head on because we have all the advantages here. No point throwing it away, just trying to go head on. Now luckily for us he is damaged somehow. Take off his wing, that's the end of him. But if that player was completely fine, as we'll see in a few minutes with another player that is... It's going to be another player which is the exact same situation except he's just... Well, he's got a functioning plane basically, he's not damaged. But firstly, we're going to show you the same BF-109 from the beginning. He's gone back to base, he's repaired. And we're going to have part 2 of the fight. So again, as an energy fighter, we're above him. Dive down, get speed. Not going to go head on. Straight into a vertical. And because we're faster, we can turn better. And we just put around straight into his pilot and he's dead. It's very little that BF-109 could have done there. That's pretty much the weaknesses of the BF-109 series. If you don't have an energy advantage over an opponent, then you can't really do much against it. So, next target is going to be the last fighter kill of the game. He's a healthy aircraft, I don't think he's damaged really, but he's low. Now it doesn't matter if he's fast, it just matters that he's low at the minute. Because we're above him, I've got about the same speed of him. I'm going to put my plane into a dive, get our speed back. He's trying to force a head on, but we're not going to take it. Now I just go straight vertical here. And we're just doing slight little turns. Now he can't follow us, you see there, he's just got no authority whatsoever. He's not going fast enough to turn. He's basically just stalling himself out in this in that manoeuvre. So we're going to turn back into him. And he's trying to disengage now, which is a good option for him. It's not going to pay off. We've got a 4-engine bomber coming in. I was a bit worried. I was like, what's he doing? I didn't know. I think it's one of the French bombers. I didn't know if he had guns or not. Maybe he was trying to buy that BF-109 some time to get back to base, but we're going to ignore that bomber for later. So this BF-109 is running. I don't know whether he's damaged or he's cooked his engine or he's low on fuel and he's trying to conserve energy. But he's definitely not going as fast as he should be. Maybe he's stock or something. But we're going to overshoot here. I'm going to show you what not to do in an overshoot. So we're coming in fast. You don't want to start doing turns. You don't want to turn with him. If you overshoot, just go into a vertical. Do a miniature version of what we did when we started this little fight. If he tried to pitch his nose up there to shoot me, he'd have stalled himself out again and I would have just come back down on top of him. Instead he tries to run. Again, it's buying him time, but it's not really going to save him. BF-109, if you've not got energy advantage over an opponent, you can't really do much. And shot into his rear fuselage and he's on fire. Now this French 4-engine bomber's coming in. I did feel confident about going head on with him because he didn't have any guns. Now that aircraft asteroid that popped up, that threw me off. I thought I'd killed the bomber. So I stopped firing at him, which is... It's a bit unprofessional, but... Now, because I didn't know about this 4-engine bomber, I didn't know what we're shooting at. I didn't know whether the 50 cals, whether the some shitty 7.5 French guns. But he is being intuitive here. He's turning his aircraft onto its side and then shooting me with all of his guns. I thought that was quite good. But we're going to wait till we get nice and close to him. We're going to put our remaining 20 mils into him. This kill isn't energy fighting whatsoever. It's just I'd had enough at that point. You could say I only had 2 minutes of fuel left, so I had to kill him either way. I thought there was another BF-109 left, so I just wanted to get this kill and be done with it. But as you can see, BF-109 is energy fighting. It's a bit more methodical than just turn fighting with anything. You need to know what you're going to do with your energy before you start the actual engagement. It's kind of like boom and zooming crossed with turn fighting, because you do have to turn in the vertical. Your goal with turn fighting is basically to drain your opponent's energy, to get them nice and slow on a big juicy target like we did with that first BF-109. But it is a very rewarding playstyle, I feel. You just feel good when you get kills doing it. You just feel like you're understanding the game and getting better. It is a bit intimidating to new players and even to older players, just because you need to be so methodical and have such an understanding of how your plane is going to react to certain maneuvers. If you're going against multiple opponents, I'd suggest very little movements in the horizontal. You saw me when I was dogfighting 1-on-1, where I was confident that was only me and the other opponent. I did turn a little bit and bled off some speed, more than I should have. But I hope this video was a bit enlightening. It's my 2 cents on, or 2 pence if you're in Britain, my 2 pence on the energy fighting. I thought this was a good little gameplay. I think it demonstrates my main manoeuvre for energy fighting, where you dive on an opponent, you go into a vertical, you drain their energy, then you come back down on top of them and kill them when they're nice and slow and juicy. So I hope you got something from this, guys, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.